You see that?
Hands to back move. Tens of thousands of plastic pellets have been found on Scotland's beaches, causing harm to wildlife. Nurdles are a raw material used by industry to make new plastic products, but billions end up in oceans across the world through accidental spillages. Some of the worst affected areas are in the east, around the Firth of Forth. Susan Ripple reports.
I think maybe that light is reflecting.
You most likely won't even
I
notice
think
they're
it's
there.
the computer.
But
Oh no, it's the
Scotland's
fly.
coast are littered with tens of thousands of little pellets called nurdles. They're used in the manufacture of plastic products. So if you want to make a plastic product, you can buy in plastic in pellet form, and then you can buy it by bag load or truckload and melt it down and put it into moulds to make these plastic products.
The nurdles are so small and lightweight that accidental spills into rivers and the sea are common. They then get washed up onto the beach and get caught in things like seaweed. It gets particularly bad after a storm.
Some of the worst affected areas in Scotland include Arran. Here, hundreds were found in just 20 minutes. On the same day, 150 were spotted on the beach at Irvine. The problem is particularly bad on the east coast. More than 1,000 were discovered in just 45 minutes at Limekilns in Fife. It took just 30 minutes to find the same number at Gull and Bents Beach. And they're particularly damaging to wildlife like fish and birds if they eat them.
It clogs up their stomachs, it doesn't digest. Means they can swallow less food and they slowly starve to death because they just can't eat anything else. So unfortunately it's having a terrible impact and continue to do so for the foreseeable future.
It's becoming a concern for the public too.
It is a problem, but it's not an easy one to kind of stop really.
They shouldn't be getting put into the water anyway, should they? Certainly doesn't do the wildlife much good in the fish and that.
Environmental groups are urging companies
Well,
to
they
take
can get
extra care
washed
to avoid
over
spillages in the
accidentally
future,
spilling it.
protecting not only the picturesque coast, but also the wildlife that calls it home. Susan Ripple, STV News, Edinburgh.
Motorists are being warned to expect weeks of diversions